And welcome to another episode of the Football Smack Talk Show. I am your host, Ryan.
I'm Eric.
Welcome, everybody, to another wonderful Monday. We are 2 weeks away from camp. I'm excited. Football season is right around the corner. In fact, as we always say, July is the last month where we do not have football. Games anyway.
Right.
So, we've pretty much made it. We got 2 weeks. Training camp will start. That first week will be great. We'll get all the updates and information about this player, that player. Life will go back to normal, if you will, for us football fans, and all will be right in the world.
Yeah, you got that right. It feels like, man, we're sitting here waiting on Christmas. Training camp starting up. I can't wait to see all the reports, to see everybody's timelines on Twitter just light up with videos and highlights. Because of course I know you do too. Follow all like the NFL insiders. Like hell, I think I follow everybody from every other training camp as well, as not just the Eagles training camp. Just because I want to see those highlights. I want to see everybody flying around.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for the Devontae Smith videos.
Right.
And the Jalen Hurts videos and the two of them, and seeing a healthy O line and
right.
Yeah, it's I'm excited about it. I'm pumped. This off season is as it does every off season, seems like the longest.
Right.
Yeah, we've gone through April and May with the NFL draft, and there really hasn't been much to really kind of go on. Other than obviously a story here and there, involving this player, that player, whatever. And sadly, sometimes the organization as a whole. But luckily, all that's kind of past us, God willing. And it's all kind of positivity, good vibes, and as training camp kind of rolls in a few weeks, we'll kind of get a good idea shortly of where this team really is, because we've been hearing it from the national media. There are a lot of people that are not expecting a lot from this team, and
sure,
maybe you get a little bit more local, and you start to maybe those win totals go up a bit. So it's kind of hard to know where we really fit, because you have this national narrative and then you have the local narrative.
There's a lot of disparity between the two, as you just alluded to.
Well, absolutely. And I think a lot of that hinges, as we probably have beaten to death, on Jalen Hurts and whether or not he takes those necessary steps in year 2.
I hadn't heard that.
No? Shocking.
Yeah. But you're right. It really just all hinges on that. Look, I saw something, I think it was Pro Football Focus had the Eagles as like the 4th worst roster.
Yes, I saw that. That was fun. That was good.
Yeah. And I don't get that. Do the Jets not count as a team? Like, no? Are they so bad they don't count as a team?
Well, and alongside that, you had somebody like Chris Sims come out and rank his top 40 quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts wasn't on that list. You've got to be kidding me.
I've been critical of Jalen at times, like during the season last year when he struggled against Dallas. I feel like I was kind of critical at times, maybe even said, well, gosh, 2 quarterbacks both doing the exact same thing, turning the football over at an alarming rate. Maybe the quarterback's not the problem. And, I said some of those things, but to say that the Jalen Hurts doesn't qualify as one of the top 40 quarterbacks in the league right now is just idiotic. Like, that's just you should have your credentials taken away from you for is the only reason you had your credential, Chris Sims, because of your last name?
Oh, nice. Very nice. Perhaps.
Well, also, you got a pretty good education somewhere, but.
Well, he was a top, he was a quarterback in the league. I was going to say more or less he was a top, it was highly ranked coming out of college.
Yeah, well,
Didn't really do well, but had
sure.
an average career and whatnot. But the fact of the matter is, his
I don't
list
want to turn
starts
this into a
out
slam Chris Sims,
right.
conversation, but
Yeah. Well, the fact that his list comes out and Aaron Rodgers is number one.
look, I love Aaron Rodgers, but Patrick Mahomes, I feel like he's done something in the last few years.
Right. Lamar Jackson, I think wasn't Lamar Jackson ranked like 30th? Something ridiculous.
Well, that's just it. And again, I may have been critical at times of Lamar Jackson, but yeah, to say he's number 30 on your top 40 list, that's just asinine.
Yeah, it was something weird. I don't know. I'm trying to pull it up now. I keep getting two different versions of this. Carson Wentz was like 11th. That can't be right, is it?
I mean, off the top of my head, trying to name like 10 quarterbacks that I would say are like definitely better than Carson right now.
I mean, I could definitely do that in a heartbeat, but
yeah,
I don't know. Well, either way, the fact of the matter is, you had people on this list, like Tyrod Taylor.
Are you kidding me? Tyrod Taylor was on that list, and
Pretty
Jalen
sure
Hurts
it was on this list. If I'm looking at this the right way, hold on. Right. Let me just verify that this is the right one. Nope. So that's the thing. I think he does this every year, so I'm getting like.
You're getting 2020s.
I'm getting a bunch of different ones.
Okay.
I'm like, good Lord. That's why I'm like, hey, this can't all be right. Hold on. Here we go. All right. This is from June 23rd. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. No, my bad. Yeah, I was clearly looking at an old one. Well, Aaron Rodgers is still third. That's still kind of high.
Yeah, but he's MVP season.
Carson Wentz is 18th.
Okay.
Tyrod Taylor is actually 35. Marcus Mariota, 36. Kellen Mond, 37. Trey Lance, 38. 39. Justin Fields. Case Keenum, number 40. Woo! Mac Jones, who's never played a damn down in his life, was ranked 30th.
Nor Trey Lance. Yeah.
Nor Trey Lance. Let's see. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 23rd. Jameis Winston, 25th. That one hurts. Sam Darnold, 19. Again, I could go on and on and on and on and on.
It's just silly.
It is just silly.
It's just clickbait. Yeah.
Yes, agreed. That's it's a little ridiculous, but
it's okay. I want Chris Sims, keep that same energy.
As the kids say. Yes. As the kids say. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously there's a lot going on right now. With the Eagles and kind of a lot of national talk that they're not going to be so hot. Which, listen, I get it. I understand.
Sure.
We did not have a great season last year. There's a lot going on this offseason, a whole new coaching staff. Totally understandable.
Yeah, which I'm curious to see, everything about this coach. What are they going to be like in training camp? We know Doug Peterson ran a very hard training camp. How last year so many guys got hurt in training camp. We lost more guys in a bye week than we did in any game, under Doug Peterson. I don't even know how the hell that's possible.
Yeah, well, I think we're all hoping that that kind of stuff is no longer the norm, if you will.
Not the new norm anymore.
Not the new norm, for sure. Again, it's hopefully we kind of skip that bug, at least for this year, because we need it. But I did want to talk about not only just kind of how the nation sees us, but I wanted to discuss training camp battles, because that's going to be huge coming up for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I wanted you to give me the number one training camp battle. It doesn't even necessarily have to be with specific players,
Sure.
but kind of expand on it, and again, why you feel that way.
I'm looking forward to that running back competition. Like Miles Sanders is clearly going to be number one. It's where they all fall after that. Like, I mean, everybody was in love during the draft with the Kenny Gainwell pick, and I don't know. Kerryon Johnson's going to be in that mix. Boston Scott's going to be fighting for carries. And then Jordan Howard's still on this roster to see where they all fall out. And then, Holyfield and just I want to see how that group shakes up, how many they go with. I'd imagine it's 3 or 4. And, obviously Miles Sanders is one of them. Kenny Gainwell being the rookie is probably going to be in that mix. And then, Boston Scott. And then it's going to be between Kerryon Johnson and I believe Jordan Howard, who makes that last running back spot.
Yeah, I think it kind of has to be. I am certainly looking forward to that for sure. But I'm hoping, again, it's one of those things where I'm hoping, someone like Kerryon Johnson makes the squad. I'm hoping. Gainwell and Boston Scott. I hope that's kind of obviously with Miles Sanders. I hope those are your 4. I just don't see anybody else other than maybe Jordan Howard, if for whatever reason, just given the familiarity with some of the players, not necessarily the system because we don't really know the system, but maybe hopefully some of that familiarity with players will kind of give him a little boost that potentially could give him the advantage over Kerryon Johnson.
Right. And, I'm looking forward to watching those two battle. I'm looking forward to obviously to see who wants to play that second corner spot. And I feel like I'm beating that dead horse. Who wants that spot? And is it going to be somebody in-house or is it going to be somebody brought in from the outside? I know I still feel like it needs to be somebody from the outside, but hey, if somebody were to step up and take that spot from inside, in that room, then I'd be all for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think again we have beaten this to this dead horse, but
yeah,
I just don't see who we have in house that's going to step up and not only claim it, but be worthy of
something. Yeah,
worthy of claiming it. Like claiming by default doesn't really do much for me because that's exactly what it sounds like. I mean, right? I mean, that's isn't that what it sounds like?
It kind of seems that way right now, unless they're just not done making moves yet. Which I mean, the Eagles have had a history of being willing to make those late offseason moves.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I still got to believe they're going down that road. Either they're looking at somebody who's available as a free agent now, or maybe they're going to wait to see how things shake up in the preseason and see who ends up getting cut, because there's always a surprise cutter. And maybe you find somebody who, because the team's got to look to get under the cap, they're looking to move on from a corner.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but again, there's still a couple of free agents out there that are worthy of picking up. Steven Nelson, Richard Sherman. I don't know why I always blank on his name. I mean, there are a couple of guys out there that I would rather have than
the 1-year Richard Sherman. And I feel like he could have that influence on the rest of that cornerback room where it's like, because he's one of those guys, he's got that bit of a tude, he's got that chip on his shoulder. And that could rub off on some guys and, get the rest of your cornerback room playing with a little bit of that edge. And I think that sometimes the corners, they need that. Because you're out there on that island, you're guarding that receiver, you need to have a bit of an attitude about it. You need to have that chip on your shoulder, and you got to win that battle every time. Because if he beats you in that, even though, how many snaps they play, 60, 70 snaps, he beats you 4 times. And you win that battle 66 times, but he beat you 4 times, you could have a hell of a day.
Yeah.
And so it takes an attitude to be able to win that, 69 times instead of 66.
Pretty much, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And that would be the kind of attitude I'd like to see rub off on, some of these to rub off on an Avante Maddox, who maybe could get in there and, all of a sudden mix it up and be a great slot corner. I think that's he seems to be tailor-made for a slot corner.
Agreed. Fully agree.
And I want to see him get that role. I don't want to see him outside. I want to see him on the inside guarding the slot receiver, where I believe he is going to make his money in the NFL.
Yeah.
And the rest of that secondary, I really kind of like. Like, it's all a matter of how you shape up a couple different spots. I mean, we talked about the running backs already. We talked the cornerback position. The linebackers, look, they're just never going to put the emphasis on the linebackers that we want. I think their best chance of us getting another linebacker in the first round of any draft for the Eagles in the next 30 years may be next year, when they will have 2, maybe even 3 picks in the first round. They might, on that third one, just be like, what the hell? Fine, we'll finally take a linebacker.
Yeah, I doubt it. Sadly, I'm going to just keep on asking for linebackers, and I'm just never going to get them. It's one of those things I've kind of accepted as an Eagles fan. As long as
makes me glad that I fell in love with the cornerback position because of the Eagles.
As long as Howie and Jeff, are here, I just don't think linebackers are ever going to be important enough for them to draft high. Sad, but it is what it is. I always get myself real excited over a couple of linebackers every year, and sadly, I get disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame of it. Like, they don't value it. You got to be able to survive at each position. It's not just enough to say, okay, well, we'll throw whatever warm body we can out at this, linebacker. You do have to be, like, I think that was a glaring weakness in the Eagles last year. That was a huge part of why teams, had some success offensively against the Eagles, is because of their linebacker play. Now, you found some guys in Singleton who played well at times, but we certainly found out Nate Geary does not belong in this league. In fact, I think he's already been cut from the 49ers.
Yeah, injury settlement.
Yeah.
It's fun.
See, so you mean we weren't morons by saying we didn't think this guy could play?
Well, I mean, again, it was, it's an injury settlement, so you don't really know what was happening, but yeah, probably.
Listed sucking monkey balls.
Yeah, San Francisco already has pretty good linebackers, so it's not that out of the realm of possibility that he wouldn't make the squad. So
they looked at him and said, "Wait a minute, we're actually going to try to parade him out at linebacker." And the Eagles looked at him and said, "Ooh, he's going to be our top linebacker."
Yeah, it's never a great sign, but
that's a reason why they were placed as the 4th worst roster in the NFL.
Maybe.
But I definitely, very curious. Look, I'm curious about a lot of this stuff. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago in our last episode that, like, this is certainly, like, shaping up to be one of those years where I don't have a lot of expectations. I just kind of want to see some questions answered throughout the season. And, like, I'm okay with whatever those answers are.
Just want the answers.
Yeah, like,
you're
hurts the answer. If not, okay, then we'll move on and find the right answer.
Right. Bring it back to some of the training camp battles. I got to tell you, I am very curious as to what's going to happen on, I'm just going to say, the left side of the line.
Okay.
Because we know left tackle with Jordan Mailata and Andre Dillard is going to be a battle for sure. Everyone kind of, I guess, assumes that Mailata has the upper hand since he was able to play last year, and he's been improving every year by
Sure.
leaps and bounds. And Dillard, highly touted first round pick, didn't really have much playing time this first year. Showed some flashes, also showed some rookie mistakes.
Sure.
Then he got hurt. So we don't really know what the deal is with Andre Dillard. He could be amazing. He could have.
Hey, he could step up and take that left tackle spot and become the next bodyguard.
Right. So now I said the left side of the line for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am not 1,000% convinced that Isaac Seumalo is your guaranteed left guard. I don't think that's set in stone necessarily. Sure. I think it's a very good possibility, should he be healthy enough, that Landon Dickerson could easily come in and take that spot. And then if let's just say Mailata and Dickerson are your starting left side of the line, outside of Kelsey, who's a smaller guy, you would have a pretty big line, especially that left side.
Yeah, you will have some big boys.
Big boys on the left side of the line there. Should that play out that way? I'm not saying could be.
We could be able to play some big boy football.
Right, but I know if those two are your starting left side of the line, if I'm Miles Sanders, I'm like, well, snap. I could either go right and have two All-Pros.
Yeah, Brandon Brooks and Lane Johnson.
Or I could go left and just have the two biggest, most massive dudes ever. And then Jason Kelsey goes whatever way, All-Pro.
Jason Kelsey will pull out there and be your lead blocker.
Right. So I think I'm good if I'm Miles Sanders. And quite honestly, I think it could get real crazy if that's what your starting lineup is Mailata, Dickerson, Kelsey, Brooks, and Lane Johnson. That's a hell of a line.
And we talk a lot about what worked and what was really successful about 2017. One of the things that was a big part of that success was their ability to convert on third and fourth and shorts. And if all of a sudden you have an offensive line who all you got to do is tell them, hey, guys, win that battle so we can get one flipping yard, they're going to you got that kind of size and that kind of, the size on the left and the talent on the right, they're going to get those yards. And when you feel at ease knowing that opens up your playbook. Say you get to a 2nd and 3 and you feel like we can open up the playbook knowing if we don't get anything, if we throw an incompletion on this deep ball that we're going to try on 2nd and 3, I feel like we can come back to the running game and we can get those 3 yards. And even if we get 2.5, I feel confident 4th and 1, we can convert that because of the play of our offensive line. That frees up a lot in your offense.
No, 100%. You're absolutely right. And that's going to be the bread and butter of this team is the offense. The defense has some holes for sure. And it's going to be a little rough at times. But the offense is the one that has a lot going for him. It has one of the better, when healthy, offensive lines.
Sure.
It has a great young running back in Miles Sanders, as a really good young quarterback in Jalen Hurts, who, again, is just coming into his own and hopefully takes the reins as franchise quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You have a very young but talented receiving core that goes tight end to the wide receivers. You have Goddard, you have Rager, you have Fulgham, you have Ward, you have Smith.
Right.
These are, 5 weapons right there. And then you add in whomever wins the battle, most likely who wins the battle between Watkins and Hightower. You have another young receiver there.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 5 or 6 young under, 25 receivers there to go along with a young, quarterback with a young running back. and a potentially a young left side of your line.
Yeah,
It's a good
and think
start to
about
rebuild it.
all of that. Like,
It's a great start to rebuild it.
oh
If you
yeah,
think about it. If
and if you can
everybody
do that,
plays,
if you have all that stuff cemented, and then
yeah,
you go into next year into that draft when all of a sudden you've got 3 first-round picks, and you can say, we didn't like the fact that we didn't have a number 2 corner. Let's go
I was
get
gonna
him.
say, you better not spend any of that shit on offense.
Yeah,
If
go
all that's
build that
cemented,
defense and
you
let's go wreck
defense.
some shit.
The whole draft. I want the whole draft defense. I want a
And
corner. I want a linebacker. I want a D tackle.
I
or
want
a D end. Anybody on the line, honestly. If that's your 3 first-round picks, I'm happy. I'm real happy.
Yeah, I want it to be where we get 3 first-round picks.
Yeah,
and then of course
we hit every phase of the defense.
Yeah,
because we need youth everywhere, pretty much.
Absolutely,
we need youth and talent. So I'm all for it. And listen, let's just say this is Kelsey's last year.
Sure.
Gibson takes over at center. You might get another year or 2 from Brooks and Lane Johnson. Again, you don't know.
Sure.
They could be like Jason Peters, where they play until they're 78. But since that's probably not likely, you have potentially, again, you really only have to figure out 2 or 3 parts of your offensive line, and you have probably a few years to do it. So,
right. And this year, and you forget that just because you have 3 first-round picks, that doesn't mean you're devoid anywhere else. You still have your second-round pick. You still have your third-round pick.
Right.
And that's where you can say, okay, let's get us another offensive lineman just in case this is it for Jason Kelsey. Okay, let's go get our next defensive tackle because we got to start thinking about life after Fletcher Cox.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be one of the things that we talk about most likely next year is how much longer do we really think Fletcher Cox is going to be around? Like, it starts to become a question after the 2021 season.
Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? I mean, and think about that is not only Fletcher Cox, but Brandon Graham.
Yep.
Those 2 you're going to have to absolutely replace. Hargrave is not necessarily a young guy.
And Kerrigan's just really there for this year. You're not thinking about him long term.
Probably not, but you have some young linebackers. You have a lot of youth in the linebacking core. You have some youth in the secondary, but unfortunately they weren't really able to do much or to
so far they haven't shown that they've developed. Right.
Well, right. I mean, they haven't really been given much opportunity to do so. So hopefully, again, like Kavon Wallace, Sean Bradley, Davion Taylor, those are 3 guys that really haven't played much, but I'm looking forward to, what they potentially, can bring to the table if they're able to.
Sure, and 2021 is going to be a big year for all those guys.
100%, absolutely. So, I suppose we'll see, as we always do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm excited because I feel like there is a lot of good youth on this squad. It's just now we got to develop them. Now we got to develop.
Right. Now, unlike last year I think I came in with a little bit of higher expectations than most. I really thought, like, last year's team, you get a couple good breaks and they can be right there fighting for a championship.
I think they certainly got the shaft a bit on a few occasions. But yeah, I mean, again, I think that's almost every season, right? Unless you're the Jets, I mean, right. It's pretty much every season is, hey.
Well, for the longest time, the Cleveland Browns, yeah.
But still, yeah, I mean, if things go one way or the other, you could end up being 4-12 or 13 now, I guess.
Yeah.
or you could be 13-4. I mean, that's pretty extreme, but you know, every football game really comes down to a couple of plays.
Sure.
So and injuries really.
Yeah. I remember
So
Dad and I used to. I mean, it was almost after every loss, it would be we'd look at each other. Man, there were 3 or 4 plays where if one of them goes the Eagles' way, they win. But I think you look up at most teams. I think they would probably say the same thing. It just feels that way for us because we're in that Eagles bubble. But I feel like you're right though when you say every game comes down to a handful of plays, and halftime all it means is if you made one of those handful of plays, you probably win the game.
yep, pretty much. It's pretty accurate. So um, real quick, before we continue, just wanted to let everybody know, thank you for everybody who checked in and is helping us build the Philly Sports Alliance. Essentially, it's just a brand new kind of social media podcast network. A couple of different groups all got together, including as people are familiar with the Phillyverse, that are fans of the Football Smack Talk show. So the Phillyverse, Driveway Athletes, and the CEV network all got together. A couple of different shows. In fact, I'll bring that up right now. This is basically our lineup currently right now. We are about to add 2 new shows: a Sixers show and an MMA show. Actually, and a secret third show. I'll have to figure out how I'm going to do the graphics for that.
You have to tell me about that off air. I want to hear about
there's not enough room, but yeah. So right now, not officially on the lineup is whatchamacallit, I'm sorry, is the CEV show, which they are, basically a 4-for-4 show. So they're actually talking to the CEO right now of the Charlotte Bats, which are, I believe, is a minor league team that is trying. This guy is trying to get some Major League Baseball, a baseball team in Charlotte, because right now, what's the closest they got is Atlanta, I guess, or
yeah,
I guess it would be Atlanta. So, so they're interviewing him right now. Actually, they had special time, so they're popping in right now. So if you are on the Philly Sports Alliance Facebook page, check out that show as well. It's going on right now, and then right after that. As you can, see on the lineup here, the Diamond Club podcast will be following that show. Normally at 6:30, I think they're going to go live at about 7:30, just due to this special interview. So,
that'll be a great lead into the home run derby.
I was going to say, great lead in. I know they're going to talk about the draft, which is great. And then we have a new time and date for the Philly broadcast. We're moving back to our original time of 6:30 on Tuesdays, and then at the end of the week, the TLC podcast is now going to be at 7:00. So check out all those shows. We're constantly going live. Best thing to do is give us a like and a follow on Facebook, and then put on your notifications. So every time that we go live, you're on Facebook, boom, you'll get a little notification saying that we're gone live. Hop in, say hello. Again, you can say hello tonight. If you got any thoughts or comments, questions, concerns about the Eagles, feel free to pop in a comment. But otherwise, check out all of the shows. And then, of course, we're also heavily on Twitter and Twitch at Philly Sports PSA. So check us out there as well. So, all righty. So as we get closer to the training camp, one thing I know that Eric and I love to do is countdowns.
Yes.
I was going to say, I know that you have like 500 countdowns currently. Do you have an official countdown for training camp, or is it just the start of the season?
Oh, I have a countdown to camp.
Okay, what is our current countdown to training camp?
It's, I think, 14 days. Let's see if I can bring it up on here. I've got a new phone, and I'm trying to learn how to navigate it.
Should have just went with your iPhone.
Where is stupid? Now, I just had it here.
I mean, it is 2 weeks, so it does start in 2 weeks on a Monday. So
yeah.
technically, it would be 13 days and 14 hours or something.
Well, I think it's scheduled to start on the 27th, so it's 14 days, 13 hours.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I really? I thought it was 26. But hey, I can't argue with the countdown clock.
And I mean, and if you also want to know, I go on vacation in 32 days.
Cool. Good for you.
That's another one of my countdowns.
What else is on the countdowns, pal?
Well, we've got 46 days till college football opener.
Oh, okay. It's pretty good.
Yeah. And of course, the big one that I'll tell everybody at the end of the show. And then the Eagles season first game.
Right.
The home opener a week later.
Right.
And look, for those of you who don't know, I am a crazy Sopranos fan. So I've got a countdown to The Many Saints of Newark, the Sopranos prequel movie coming out.
Well, what's the countdown for that?
That is 81 days, 1 hour till the movie comes out.
81 days. It's so far away.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, it was originally supposed to be last September.
Yeah, COVID.
Of course,
really did a number on everything, didn't they?
Yeah.
Stupid COVID.
I know, right?
It's
done nothing for nobody.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. Well, yeah, we'll do the Eagles one at the end of the show, as we always do. But as we also do a little fun thing which we started last year is our countdown to the start of the season as well. We do 30 days and 30 jerseys leading up to the start of the season. So we gotta figure out the exact day that we started.
Normally we started last year, and then we started the first preseason game.
Is that what we did?
Yeah, and that happened to be 30 days. Well, it was supposed to be when the first preseason game was because there wasn't any last year. But
true.
So yeah, it was a month out. So we did. Really, I guess it was 31 days because.
Okay. Well, the start of the season for the Birds is what, the 10th?
September 12th.
Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, right. 12th. Sorry, I went 1 month too far. Okay, so I guess we could theoretically start it, since there is 31 days in August. We could start it on the 12th of August.
Which would be the first preseason game. So that would make sense.
Oh wow, it absolutely is. That is a Thursday. How about that?
Yeah.
I think they planned their schedule based on what we were doing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, they somehow coordinated. They said, hey, wait, those guys, they do that crazy 30 jerseys in 30 days.
Yeah. Well, and whatchamacallit? I now will have, because last year we expanded it to shirts and whatnot. This year I will not need to go into the shirts. I have 31, not only 31 Eagles jerseys, but 31 different players' Eagles jerseys. Because I have as like everybody, I have a couple of Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Sad face. I have a couple of Zach Ertz, potentially sad face.
Yeah.
I have a couple of Reggie Whites. I technically now have 2 Hurts jerseys because you changed his stupid number.
I know. That's one of the ones I'm thinking I want.
But I'm glad you did, because as also people that don't know, I am trying to accomplish something that I don't know has ever been accomplished by another Eagles fan. Maybe somebody's done it for their team. I don't know. Stupid Nat. I thought I had him, but I guess he's still alive. But what I would like to do is go from 1 to 99 and have a jersey for every single number in between. Now, thankfully, Jalen Hurts actually did change his number because I had some real putrid options at number 1.
Yeah.
So Hurts made it a little bit easier for
now, for the sake of this, are you going to allow duplicates as far as Jalen Hurts were number 1? Would you allow him to have 1 and 2 count the same in yours?
Absolutely.
Okay. Otherwise, your options for number 2 are David Akers.
I was going to say, yes. In that particular case, I would have grabbed a David Akers if I didn't have already the Jalen Hurts 2. Yes, I would have grabbed a David Akers. But, so it's tough going. I got to tell you, if you want to challenge yourself, look up the jersey.
There are certain number groups that it's easy. I think the 80s are relatively easy.
You would think so. Yes, they are probably easier than some of the other ones. But hold on. I literally have this saved.
Yeah, no, I can probably recite it off here, off of memory.
Okay, you think you can go from 80 to 89 and name a jersey-worthy player for every single one?
I think so, yeah.
Have at it, my friend. Go for it.
All right, well, 80 is Chris Carter.
Yep.
81, Terrell Owens.
Sure.
82, Mike Quick.
Right.
83, Vince Papali.
Yep.
84, my boy Greg Ward.
Sure.
Or Freddie Mitchell, if you want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, those are a little fringe, but I'll allow
it. Yeah. 85, that's the hardest one. I know we talked about it.
We've talked about it, and please don't say it.
Okay, well, then I won't say it because that's the only one I really feel like is worthy of 85.
Yeah.
So I won't say it.
There's no other option. Casey? You want Casey?
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. So that one's hard. Obviously, Zach Ertz, 86.
Zach Ertz, 86.
Selleck,
87.
Goddard, 88.
Yeah. And if you didn't want to go modern, you could go Keith Jackson at 88.
You could go Keith Jackson, absolutely. And Calvin Williams at 89. You're right. Yeah. It is one of the easier.
I think that's the easiest group because
20s are also
one number that kind of stumps you.
The 20s are pretty easy.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got Dawkins, Eric Allen. 22, you could go Deuce or Asante Samuel.
Yeah.
23, Vincent. 24, Slay. Now, granted, he just changed his freaking number. So you could get a 2 Slay.
You could get a Sheldon Brown if you
want. Or a Sheldon Brown.
Yeah.
What else?
25,
25, Miles Sanders, 26, Jenkins, 27, 28, Corral Buckhalter, 29.
My boy, Mark McMillan. It's an easy call for me. He was one of the first dudes I liked.
So there's that. But like I said, I literally have you can't even say it. It's too much. But I literally have a list 1 through 99 of all the jerseys not only that I have, and I have them check marked off, but then the potential jerseys that I would like.
Now, my only issue is some of those jerseys I have, but they don't fit me anymore. I want to be able to go 1 through 99 and have everyone
wearing them. Yeah, I agree. Luckily, I don't have that problem right now.
Well, I'm a fat ass, so.
Well, I
also got some of those jerseys when I was younger and skinnier.
Well, that's the thing. I don't have any of the jerseys I had when I was a kid. God only knows where they ended up to.
Oh, I know exactly where my jerseys are that were when I was young. They're up in the
end. And honestly, some of the jerseys that I had in my early 20s are now hanging in my basement.
Right, like your Brian Dawkins.
Westbrook, and Reggie White and Jerome Brown. So I have a Reggie White and Jerome Brown and a Westbrook and a Dawkins that I can wear.
See, my Dawkins one won't fit. And
well, then you just got to get a new one.
Yeah.
Right? So there you go. But yeah, so I'm on the hunt. We're actually gonna go.
I was gonna say, speaking of the hunt.
Yeah, we're gonna go to a wonderful place in Pittman, New Jersey. Lenny and Susie's Sports Memorabilia. If you aren't familiar, please check them out on Facebook. The guy sells jerseys and other kind of collectibles. Some he has like signatures. He'll have uh, signed autographs or bobbleheads or random things. That you could check out. It's in Pittman, New Jersey. So we every year, every off season, right before the start of the season, we make a trek out there. We call him up. We let him know what we're looking for. He'll let us know if he has it, if he has a special order them. And generally, by the time we come up there, I usually end up with like 4 to 6 jerseys that I'm bringing home. So it really does help with each year with the collection. So I'm hoping by the time I turn 45, I will be done my quest. So I got a little less than 5 years because I'm old.
It's funny because I wonder how many duplicate numbers you have. Like,
I mean, like I said, I have
a couple 7s.
I have a couple of 17s.
Yeah.
I have multiple, as I said, multiple jerseys for certain players.
Sure.
It's tough. And right now, like one of the tougher decisions I'm making is whether or not, because I don't have a number 7. So do I want Vic or do I want Jaws? Or do I just say screw it and get both? I could do that.
I mean, yeah, I have my Kelly Green Vic, which is actually like, I love that jersey. And like, I wasn't a huge Vic guy, and it
was okay. Yeah.
But like when he got here, like I liked him.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
And, I felt like had a decent career for the run that he had. Like, I mean, he wasn't here long.
I mean, he'll forever be, just the electric offense. I mean, the first down play from scrimmage is like a huge touchdown to Sean Jackson. And
right.
The Miracle in Meadowlands.
But yeah, the miracle, him being a huge part of the Miracle of the Meadowland, the second miracle. Well, I guess the third.
Well, technically the third, yes. I don't know why they call it the Miracle of the Meadowlands too.
I know that some people have been calling it the Miracle of the Meadowlands.
What?
Some people have been calling it the Miracle in the New Meadowlands.
Oh yeah.
Which I think is probably a better name for it.
Probably, yeah. But they should just call it Miracle 3.
Yeah.
Westbrook was the second
2.
One. And obviously,
I heard the Westbrook one. I watched that at a sports bar in Houston. No other Eagles fans around me. And I'm just saying to one of the guys sitting around, like, man, had no business winning that game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So, but yeah, so that's some of the fun stuff you have to look forward to. There's also we do breaking news and updates on our Facebook and Twitter. In fact, I just posted something earlier today. Let's see what is going on here. About Lane Johnson was on Good Morning Football and had quite the nice thing to say about Devontae Smith. I'll quote him here. It's we call him the Slim Reaper. He doesn't say a lot, but he does show a whole lot of what he is capable of. When you have a guy that high caliber, I think he does nothing but bring everyone else along in the receiving corps. We're excited about him. I think he's going to do tremendous things this year. Slim Reaper. Watch out for him.
All right.
Yeah. Got me a little excited. I'm glad.
Lane this is the stuff I love. Like, I can just soak that up.
100%. Absolutely. Yeah. It just gets you excited. So that's
and there's certain guys that, like, you see them, whether they're Eagles or not, but like, you just know they'd be just a cool teammate to have. Lane Johnson strikes me as the type of guy who he'd just be a cool teammate to have. Yeah. Like, as long as you're busting it every day, I feel like he'd be your best friend and help you out in any way he could. Like, that's just the way he strikes me. If you're putting out that maximum effort every day in practice, he'd be that type of dude to just, you need a kind word to kind of pick you up if you ain't feeling it that day. He'd be that dude to come over there and help you out.
Yeah.
It's just the way he strikes me.
Love that. Yeah, no, I agree. Lane's good people. So
one of my favorite newer jerseys that I gotten was the Lane Johnson Super Bowl 52 jersey.
That's right. You did get that.
Mm-hmm.
So Yeah, I gotta get him. In fact, I gotta get a lot of offensive linemen.
Well, yeah, when you get into those 60s and 70s, it's going to be a lot of those guys.
Well, yeah, I just
And
don't have any of them. Like, I don't have Peters, I don't have Kelsey, I don't have Johnson, I don't have Brooks. Like,
I have Kelsey
I don't
too.
have like a
Yeah.
Ryan and Trey Thomas. There's a bunch of guys that I really liked and admired while their careers were here that were
Mhm.
on the offensive line that I just never got around to getting a jersey for. So,
I
I'll
feel like that happened to me with a lot of players that it would be like once I started to think, oh man, I haven't gotten their jersey yet, and then I started thinking, well, this could be like their last year or the second to last year.
I
So I
gotta
don't know if I want to invest in a jersey that I'll probably only be wearing regularly for 1 year.
Yeah, I got to show this. And John, appreciate you checking in, buddy. Can we give 81 to Monk instead of T.O.? Well, Monk actually wore number 85 here, and that's what I was
Which is
not
the
saying out
mystery
loud.
one that we were, yeah.
Yes, I plan on getting a number 85 Art Monk, who I respected the hell out of him
Absolutely.
and Daryl Green. Those were like him and then also Doug Williams. Those are the three Redskins in my entire life that I had respect for and really admired their game. Sucked they were on the Redskins, but so I just thought that would be a fun kind of throwback Art Monk 85 jersey.
Yeah, that would be a good get if you get that one.
And honestly, if you were not a T.O. fan, completely understand that you wouldn't want to go with him, at 81. I mean, you could go, you could go, hold on, I'm thinking. Jordan Matthews?
Yeah.
Avant?
Yeah.
Trying
go Avant.
to think of some of the other 81s over the years.
There's a Rob Carpenter back in 1995.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. In fact, if you remember in the wild card round against the Lions, Rodney Peete threw a Hail Mary touchdown pass to Rob Carpenter to end the first half.
Only you would remember that.
I know. I knew you'd get a kick out of me remembering that.
All right, 81. Let's see. There was you could go with Jason Kroom, the most recent, Josh Perkins, Kamar Aiken, Billy McMullen, Charles Johnson. Woo! Yeah, that's about it. That is about it for people that I remember. Yeah, that's all I got. Roy Green, don't remember him. Jeff Graham, Mark Say.
You don't remember Mark? You don't say?
I realized. Thankfully, I do not.
He was on. Wasn't he on that '98 team, like the '97, '98 era? Like,
he had to.
They were god awful.
He had to have been. It was
he was a Ray Rhodes guy, I think.
Yeah, but yeah. So appreciate it, John. Love the comment. So you do have some options at 81. So hopefully
one of those fits for you, John.
Right. I already had a T.O. jersey from back in the day, so I didn't have to worry about that one. So.
I actually have one doesn't have the name on the back of it. It's just I guess some. Well,
did it fade off or?
Well, we were in a Madden tournament at the GameStop on X. It was all on Xbox. Remember?
They always had this stupid tournament on Xbox, and we never played Xbox. So
I know. Well, I came in third, and I got the T.O. jersey.
I do remember that.
Yeah, and the guy who ended up winning the thing later on was in a fantasy football league of ours, and John Wonder won that day. Because he told me, like when we started working together, he was like, "Hey, I met you at GameStop when we were in that Madden tournament." Yeah, and I definitely did not remember him when he said that to me.
Yeah, I can understand. Yeah, but all right, folks. Well, like I said, we got a couple more weeks until training camp, so we'll have 2 more episodes leading up to training camp. So we'll talk a little bit more about the Birds leading up. And if you're out there, make sure you give the Philly Sports Alliance some love. Give a like, a follow, a share. What other buttons tell you to do? Just blindly do them. We do appreciate all the love and support from not only Facebook, but from our Facebook groups that we're in. Thank you so much, as you guys are really helping for us to kind of build this new thing that we're doing here at the PSA. As we're just basically trying to get our foot in the ground and started and kind of give you guys a whole lineup every day of different shows, not only about the Birds, but about the Phillies or Flyers, Sixers, whatever. Anything you guys want to talk about, we'll bring it to you. So make sure you stay tuned later on the PSA for the Diamond Club podcast at 7:30. I think right now still the CEV podcast is going on right now. So check them out as well. And then, like I said, check out the remainder of the shows throughout the week. I'll put that up as we get out of here. But we are done. Eric, you got anything to add before we get on out of here?
No.
All right. Gotta love that. All right, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you next week. We will see you throughout the week on some of our other shows. So for the Football Smack Talk show, I'm Ryan.
I'm Eric. Happy football, everybody. Only 61 days to go. I'm sorry. Well, that's still Eagles game. 59 until the national opener.
So less than 2 months. We've made it.
Yeah.
All right.
There, guys.
I can do that. 2 months. It's nothing. All right, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you next week, and we'll see you throughout the week on the other shows. Have a good night.
Night.